Today's the day the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. I've always loved that, you know. And, we are here to celebrate Mark's life and how we lived. But I'm here today to speak on behalf of Mark's other family, the Trinity University Police Department. I wanted to share a little bit about how I knew Marc and how the officers knew Marc as well. Almost 3 years ago to this day, Marc took the oath of office as a Trinity University police officer. When I interviewed Marc in my office for the position, he walked in, as they mentioned, he was 6'1", about 290. He was a big guy. And, you couldn't help but notice that, you know. It wasn't until he spoke and he shared his passion with me and his love for law enforcement that I realized he was a gentle giant. And you've heard that throughout the last couple of days. His fellow officers would joke with him, and they said, "Marc, if you're going to make my calls, just come up behind me, fold your arms, bring your eyebrows together, and don't speak." Because when he spoke, that gentle giant was revealed, you know. He had that soft-spoken voice, and it was quite beautiful. And just to expand a little bit about what I'm talking about, I was reviewing one of Marc's body camera videos on a call he had a few weeks ago. He was engaging a burglary suspect. And as he engaged the suspect, he said, "Good morning. How you doing? Can I help you with something?" Marc was that guy, that officer, but he was able to switch gears and take action if he had to. And that was definitely one of his qualities. I asked my staff this past week to describe Marc in their own words and how he may have impacted their lives. Officer John Santillan shared, he was a police officer in its purest form. He tried very hard every day, and he did. Officer Paul Morales shared, Marc loved his classic rock, as we heard. He could identify the year, the artist, the song, and the band members. Paul said he lost a lot of money to Marc. Sergeant Joe Hernandez, who was, Marc was the first one to contact him when one of his family members went ill and called to see just how they were doing. Once again, that's who Marc was. Firearms instructor David Estrada shared, after a critical critique at the firing range, Marc cared enough to go to the range often and practice. And that's okay too. That was one of his songs. And finally, Marc's patrol sergeant, Daniel Chapa, shared, I remembered I would always give Marc advice on his traffic stops. And one day, Sergeant Chapa says, he made the near perfect traffic stop. And I let him know how proud I was of him. Sergeant Chapa says, as he was driving away, he looked at his rearview mirror and saw Marc, who appeared to be shadowboxing. He couldn't figure it out. He later asked Marc, he said, "What were you doing when I left?" Marc said, "It made my day," you know, with his comment. And that's how much Marc really appreciated his fellow sergeants and officers. And in closing, I'll share Matthew 25:23. His Lord said to him, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. I will set you over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord." Marc, you're now living in the presence of our Lord, patrolling the streets of gold, and standing watch at the pearly gates. Miss Kelley, thank you for sharing Marc with us. Rest in peace, my brother.